Why do I keep getting thrown headfirst into indie games created by people who identify as dogs? I'm not sure if I could be, or should be, concerned or not. Anyway, greetings and felicitations, assorted children of the internet. I am the Logician, and today's gonna be a bit interesting, all things considered. I'm gonna be playing a game that I've been meaning to play for quite some time, but honestly just never got around to. And as most of you can probably gather, it is in fact going to be ENA Dream Barbecue. Now, this game, to my understanding, is the product of and based heavily upon the ENA series of YouTube videos. Jesus fucking Christ, it started already. It's based on the YouTube videos by Joel Guerrera, also known as Joel G, featuring the titular character ENA. Although, to my understanding, this iteration of ENA is going to be somewhat different than the one we're used to from those videos. ENA itself is very much one of those art housey animated series that leaves a lot open to interpretation in terms of what message or story is actually being told. I've debated this topic a number of times with my good friend Marcy, also known as Nezumi VA, who is actually the one who recommended I check this game out to begin with. So, having said all that, I should probably stop wasting everyone's time, including my own, and get straight into the meat and potatoes of the stream proper. So, with that all being said, I suppose it's in my best interest to get things started. So, let me just get things set up here, and, as the children say, skadoosh. How to ban streamer. Good question. Next question, Koshe.
おい、
Hey. Oop. If my controller would be so kind as to cooperate.
何してるんだ。
You know, maybe I should not actually
さあ来い。
voice act over
こ
this,
の目を労働に向ける時が来た。
given that there is actual voice acting. Can you hear something? Adjust the slider until the volume is at a comfortable level. I might have to actually use the mouse for the time being. I do plan on playing this with my controller because, yes, I am that stubborn. Oh god, is my controller actually dead? Hold on. Yes, I'm doing this live on twitch.tv. I'm changing out the batteries to my controller. Yes, I know, we're off to a rollicking good start. Also, while I am in the process of doing that, I mean, surprise fucking surprise, I'm gonna delve into the critical media analysis right out the gate. Something that I noticed while looking over the initial screenshots I've seen from this game, is that this iteration of the character ENA, from her color scheme to her attire, seems very much inspired by post-war Japan. Like, specifically 1940s post-war Japan. And a lot of the theming behind this game... Again, I have seen very little of the game proper. I can only throw out a number of slapdash theories about what the message of this game might be, and I will get into the bulk of that later on in the stream. But it seems to be involving work, and pretty much validating your existence through work, which does feel very much like post-war Japanese propaganda. which leans into a lot of the messaging behind what I believe the overall theme of the ENA YouTube series is. But, in any event. Well, now that we've got that in effect, can I actually use the controller now? Nope, well, fuck it. I'm going to start over anyway. Yes, I am buying time because, again, I am very much this stubborn about using a controller for games. How to disconnect OBS remotely. Again, were it so easy, Koche. But yeah, no, like, my hypotheses about what this game might be about are only being solidified through the Japanese voice acting right out the gate here.
Oi.
Come the fuck on. Is it really gonna force me to use mouse and keyboard? And I hate that. Might not be code for controls. Well, I mean, it said on the Steam page that it was supposed to be. Ah, my word. Alright, one moment. I need to get to the bottom of this. Mostly playable with your controller. This game is playable, but may show incorrect... Well, yeah, I mean, again, it's saying right there, right out of the gate, fun times with technical difficulties. It wouldn't be one of my streams without them, would it? Alright, now let's see here. Apply layouts. Now, let's see. Will it work now?
何してるんだ
Oh, okay, I was just pressing the wrong button, is all.
さあ来いこの目を労働に向ける時が来た
Alright, so, how is the audio sounding on your end so far? Is this, like, a bit too loud? Is this a bit too soft? What are we thinking, chat? A bit loud? Okay, so let me go ahead and let me actually dip into the OBS settings. And bring this down to about here. Alright, how are we sounding now, chat? Again, I do hope you will forgive me for the initial troubleshooting with this. I have very little knowledge of, like, what is awaiting me, outside of a few things I've seen here and there, which I'm not sure if they even really spoil anything, and they're largely to do with, like, character designs, but, again, we shall see. I imagine a lot of this is going to come down to the actual experience. Alright. Sounds good. In that case... Oh, come on. Oh, here we go. Adjust the slider until the face on the left is visible. Well, I mean, it's visible even down to the lowest bit there. So yeah, I'm going to assume that this is... pardon me. The ideal lighting situation to make your eyes strain for no reason, old man. Listen, you can't tell me what to do. I'm a male VTuber. I make things unnecessarily difficult for myself on purpose all the time. Okay. Those legs. Well, the controller is working. That's the good news. The bad news is I don't think it's oriented such that it's going to work for what I need it to. Oh, hello! Well, now I'm just kind of curious as to what happens if I just stay here. D-pad not working. Joystick is only changing the volume. Hi. You know, this is reminding me a lot of that old Japanese-made short, which I believe was roughly inspired by Nausicaa, the Miyazaki movie Nausicaa, to be specific. You got any buddies over there? No? I played this for my birthday. I can't remember if I managed to get control to work. Well, I mean, this game is essentially just one big... Oh, wow. You know? And people say thigh gaps are unrealistic, but look at that. But, yeah, leave it to an art house film game to essentially make the experience as difficult as possible. Fine. Oh, well, you know, I can jump. That's more than I was expecting. I will, in fact, be honest. Yeah, this is already giving me an interesting time with just the sheer degree of red. Oh, he's speeding up. Is he? No, it's just working on his breaststroke. Okay, so. And again, please do let me know if the volume needs to be adjusted any further than it already has been. Alright, shift. Okay. Huh. You're the one refusing to use your keyboard. I mean, once again, I am one of those people who was raised predominantly... Oh. Well, I see his brothers decided to join the pool party. But yes, I predominantly grew up playing console games, or at least games that relied on the use of a controller. I technically got started on a computer as far as games are concerned, but I've always preferred the feel of controller games, because a lot of PC games that rely on mouse and keyboard for the control schemes, they just make my hands hurt with how uncomfortable the just default button schemes are. So that's why I am so stubborn about it. Now I'm going to hazard a guess that that bed I passed is probably going to be the progression point. Not like it's very intensive. It depends on the game, Koche, I will say. Like, if it's one of those games where you have to make use of the entire keyboard, then it just forces my fingers to stretch in ways that are just unbearably uncomfortable. And my hands hurt for the next fucking hello. My hands will end up hurting for the next, like, day and a half afterwards. So. Yeah, no, I feel like there is absolutely post-war Japanese commentary at play here. I don't think it's too much of a stretch to speculate on that point at this point. Yeah, they're already... They are being very... I mean, about as blatant as I've ever seen anything ENA related be. I'm gonna be honest. Huh. Okay. I don't know if there is a crouch button. Didn't seem like it. Oh. Here comes Curly Joe. And, okay, yeah. No, they're not being subtle. Ah, boy. So, while I'm investigating this initial part of the game, I might as well share my thoughts on what I believe the ENA series as a whole to be a form of commentary on. And that is sensationalism. In the ENA videos on YouTube by Joel G, the crux of pretty much every video comes down to ENA's interaction with the world and the citizenry thereof, and how their lives and opinions are very much shaped by advertising. Like, if I remember correctly, the second episode of ENA involves ENA and her friend Mooney interacting at a, what is the word? Auction. Yes. Interacting with one another at an auction, and everything at the auction is being sold as being something that will make your wildest dreams come true. I believe that was either not the first episode, pretty sure that was the second episode. The episode after that was about ENA and a number of other people attempting to make their way through a labyrinthine palace on the back of a giant walking construct, with the promise of being granted a wish for anything their heart desires, should they reach the end of it. The next major episode after that, if I remember correctly, involved ENA going into a theater and going through a number of different forms of entertainment in order to find the one true definition of fun. And all these different forms of fun were being hyped up for ENA, or rather to ENA, and each one left ENA felt wanting and not completely satisfied. So I believe in the main ENA series, as far as the YouTube videos are concerned, a lot of the commentary has to do with the ways in which just sensationalism in advertising in a capitalist hellscape of a society just kind of fucks with us, results in so many warped perspectives on reality, as it were. Now, as far as this game is concerned, given the blatant post-war Japanese aesthetic, and what I understand to be an overarching goal of finding a job, I am guessing that ENA Dream Barbecue, at least this portion of ENA Dream Barbecue, because if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that it's going to be divided up into a number of episodic chapters. As far as this particular chapter is concerned, I believe this has to do with another form of sensationalism, and that is wartime/post-war propaganda. which no country is immune to, I will state. However, this seems to be specifically revolving around post-war propaganda in Japan. Anyway, that is my current take, having not played a second of this. We will see how on the nose, or I suppose, how accurate my assessment is, and I am assuming we will learn more after we wake up from the fever dream that is this opening level. Open this door. Already dipping into the ENA-isms with this option and this phrasing here. Because, yeah, no, a bed would functionally be the door into and out of a dream. There's Joel. Okay, clever. For the uninitiated, much like Toby Fox presents himself as a little white dog in most depictions of himself, to my understanding, Joel G does much the same with that little yellow dog. The one that was in the loading graphic there. Really fighting the urge to make an Evangelion joke here. For red, dry eyes. Clear eyes is awesome. Wow.
Hope you don't mind, but could you tell me?
Where the hell is the boss?
Yes, I am the boss.
そんなわけないだろ、アホか。真に受けるなよエナ。こいつはボスなんかじゃない。
Okay, you got me. I am not the boss, nor a penguin, but in fact, the great Dracula.
ああ、いったくいかれた野郎だ。こんなやつとはもうやってられるか。
I am not nuts. I am Dracula.
What are your pain points? What's your problem? What are our business struggles today? Let me help you invest in your future.
え？これだらてのマルチか何か？難しい言葉よしてくれないか。めまいがしそうだ。
No! Just tell me about this dumb job already!
仕事に積極的なのか。そりゃいい。いい心がけだ。いや、そうだな。よく聞いてくれ。時間はだいぶかかったが、このおしゃべりはなんとかボスの居場所を突き止めた。だが一つ問題があるとすれば、お前は遅すぎた。今からそこに滅びた身の始末に行こうにも、もう俺たちには時間が残されてないんだ。
Huh, seems I am out of the loop. Shall we review the job description?
まあ、あんたのその変な言葉遣いで言うとすれば、俺たちが狙ってるのはボスの腹渡だな。そいつは俺たちの最大の、
Diving right into the belly of the beast, are we?
Understood. Aim for the target.
そう。なんだこれ誰だタバコ吸ってるの。
I don't know, but something tells me they might look like a caterpillar.
ダメだダメだ。このスモークのせいで肺がどうにかなっちまう。もうタバコのスモークは大嫌いだ。最悪だ。黙れ。
Let's arrange our next ambush at the scene. Could you point out the boss's location?
こっちだ。こっちこっち。こっちに来い。見ろ。あの島が見えるか。ボスはどうやらあそこに潜んでるらしいんだ。だがまずはこのスモークを消し去ることが先かもな。で、取引成立か？
Yeah, no, this feels very much on brand for Joel G. Right out the gate.
あんたは元いた場所に戻れ。そして受付を見つけるんだ。どうすれば肺をパンクさせずにボスの元にたどり着けるのかを必ず聞くんだ。
That is most categorically doable.
So this is about as Japanese a character design as you can get. Like, I feel like just about every major Japanese series, at one point or another, has a character very much like this, who is just Hoshi Baldman in mascot costume. He also kind of reminds me of Crocker from the first Muppet movie. I think his name was Crocker? Hold on, right out the gate, I am in fact going to be looking up some images. Let me see here. Yes, there he is. Ah. So let me just... This is probably going to be adding to the stream time, so... Sorry, not sorry. Let me see here. So if any of you ever played the Pokemon card game growing up, you might recognize this motherfucker. Imakuni. I first learned about this bastard through the Pokemon card game Game Boy Color game. I think it was it specifically Game Boy Color? It might have been Game Boy Color. But, yeah, no, just random Japanese guy, photorealistic Japanese guy, or just live-action Japanese guy in mascot costume. Specifically, a black-tinted costume. And on the other side of inspiration for that one... There he is. There's the motherfucker I was thinking of. Let me just... Alright. It is imperative that I make my point here. Doc Hopper. Are you seeing the vision chat? The unholy union, as it were? Right out the gate, this is scratching a very upsettingly nostalgic itch. And I don't know how to feel about it. Let me just put this nightmare fuel away for now. I digress. Something I can interact with? No? Job listings. Help needed, talk to receptionist. Okay. Alright. Are you someone I can interact with? The door seems to be out of order for the moment. That's a veritable mood and a half. You know, I'm sure if I played this game 10 or so years ago, I wouldn't know what the fuck to make of it. I don't need to use this now. Oh, interesting. Yeah. No, I don't blame you, buddy. If it's any consolation, you've got it better off than the person who worked here before you. I think her name was Rainbow Dash. Now let's see. Receptionist here. Nope. Ah, there they are. Some crazy contests with great retributions inside. Huh. How about you, Jelly Boy? The other day I went to the Lonely Door and it gave me a big gruesome hug. Where would we all be without the doors? One would assume perpetually inside or out. Have you seen the Lonely Door? Honestly, it's kinda smoking hot. Listen to yourself. You don't even make sense. Typical Rena. Mooney, have you had work done? Damn. Seaman looks a bit different than how I remember it. You know, it's nice to know they were able to rebuild after the fourth impact. The door is restricted, for the time being. What about this door?
Vous pensez aller où comme ça? C'est pas un endroit pour les imposteurs tels que vous.
You know? I hadn't thought about that. You also have to forgive me, Chad. I'm sort of... Because they do technically include voices for a lot of these characters, I'm debating whether or not I need to actually voice all of them. And just where do you think you're going? That's not a place for scammers like you. You know? The funny thing is, like, everything I have seen in this game so far, reminding me very much of a number of VHS tapes I used to watch in my youth that were pretty much just experimental computer animation shorts.
Did I catch you at an okay time?
Ah, encore vous? Allez-vous-en! Vous sentez la pauvreté. Allez manger des plats surgelés, sale limace à col rose.
This group is full of weirdos.
Let's cut the crap.
Hello!
We'll get rid of it for us so I can deal with the man in charge. Quoi? J'espère que vous racontez des conneries de prolétaires. Vous arrivez trop tard.
Hope you will forgive me for not immediately reacting.
D'ailleurs, ce n'est pas de mon ressort de donner de tels ordres.
There's a lot to read right now, so I apologize, Raiders. But thank you so much for joining us. I am the Logician. I am a, I suppose you would call a variety streamer, predominantly doing media analysis, reactions, gaming, things like that. And today we are playing through ENA Dream BBQ.
Are you poor with words or what? Let's talk, you cheap assistant! Pauvre? Bas de gamme? Moi?
Worry not. You are still a child of God.
Vous jouez avec le feu, mademoiselle. Bon, écoutez, les genies sont les seuls à pouvoir arrêter la smoke. Tout ce qui se cache derrière les portes de cet endroit chante leur gloire. Et n'essayez même pas de manquer de respect aux portes.
Bless you for your business.
Alright, so right out the gate, there does seem to be an ongoing theme with doors. That much is, in fact, obvious. But yes, Bowbirds, thank you so much for raiding. It is very much appreciated. I am still admittedly getting used to my surroundings, my, well, if you'll pardon the pun, getting my sea legs with this game. But I am very enthusiastic about getting behind, or getting to the bottom of, rather, all of what is happening. You know?
ENA、あんたの会話をつけてたよ。
You would.
忌々しいジーニーとドアについて聞いてたんだがね。もしあんたが探しに行くっていうんなら、俺は一緒には行けないみたいだ。
I take it you have a history, friend?
このスモークのせいで足が痛くってな。だからジーニーを見つけるのはあんた次第ってことになる。
I hate that that almost made sense.
Heal, heal, frog.
Ping me in some moments.
Alright, so, to my understanding, the next quote-unquote logical step is to go searching for these genies who evidently have the authority to, take care of this smoke. Oh, hello. I do believe you're new. You know? Somehow I doubt that.
You're not fooling anyone, fraud!
Ну да, твоя правда. Меня звать Кейт, а ты вот Эна. Я тебя тут миллион раз видывал. Тут что, фестиваль простаков и простачек?
Hey, calm down, Puffin Cat.
Ну да ладно. Ты видал уже одинокую дверь? Я от нее тащусь. Ух, не дождусь отправиться в плащ и добросовестно тусить, нарушая все законы. Вот в этот раз я точно повстречаю туалет.
Bathroom? You must be talking about the genie, true?
Джеги? Как странно ты называешь туалет.
You know, there is something inherently hilarious about having probably the most literal interpretation of capitalism incarnate being voiced in Russian. In this game of all games. How about you, Tweedledum and Tweedledummer? Actually, no, it'd be Tweedleding and Tweedledong.
I am the boss.
Boss of what? Hogwash?
Ah, ENA. Unpopular everywhere, aren't you? I have studied ENA for a long time.
Say, are you a professional stalker? Don't take it personally.
No. Common mistake, but sad mistake. Stalker entities are inside crowd door, begging for autographs, for fame. No Piero the Genie equals no town.
Crowd door, is it? Sounds like we've got a busyness there, huh?
I am confident. You are unwelcome at the door. Piero the Genie is an entity with deviant tastes. Just like me.
I was about to say, I'm sure you get along swimmingly. I swear I've heard that voice actor before, but I cannot for the life of me figure out where. Open the lonely door. I was going to say, if ever there was a lonely door, this fits the description pretty much to a T. Hey, wait for the second date at least. Alright. Let me see here. Never hurts to double check these little nooks and crannies in games like these. Oddly, there's a sudden urge to go to the bathroom.
変に思うかもしれないんだが、このドアのジーニーじゃないかと思うやつについて俺は何も聞いてないんだよ。なんだかどうも臭い気がするんだがね。
You would know.
ああ、くそにしてもここはナフタリン臭くてかなわんな。
Let's think on it. Gather info and ask questions. I will provide us with the factual truth about this G.
え？バスルーム？あんた急に何言ってんだ？まあいいや、別にいたらいいんじゃないか。ただし仕事をサボるためにそこに留まったりはするなよ。その手口を俺はよく知ってる。
So first of all, I am already feeling the effects of playing on a keyboard on my left wrist, because goddamn, it's hurting. Alright, so that's gonna be fun to deal with later. Second of all, I will say one of the things I've always found interesting about the ENA/ENA series, regardless of how you pronounce it, it scratches a very specific itch that I very much long to see more of in media, and that's of multiple characters speaking multiple languages, like their native languages, as it were, but just conveniently understanding one another. Like, it, for any of you who remembers that specific scene from A New Hope, Star Wars 4, technically, that one scene involving Han Solo and Greedo, they're just speaking their respective native languages, and nothing is getting lost in translation. I really appreciate seeing that and hearing that in ENA, because I feel like it says something about, I don't know, just the commonality of the human, well, quote-unquote human, but of the, I suppose, sapient experience of just being true to yourself, being fully honest, and, like, confrontation not arising from a lack of understanding so much as it is just the key encompassing elements of who those characters are. Like, Greedo and Han Solo understand each other perfectly fucking well, despite them speaking entirely different languages, but they also understand that they fucking despise each other. Like, they're able to fully express who they are and what they are as characters and as people without having to dance around specific, you know, potentially xenophobic or otherwise bigotry-based conflicts. It is just, I know what you're about, I just don't like it, and I don't like you. I already very much appreciate the play on perspective with this level. Feel like, well, there's no prompt doing it. Well, fuck it. Oh. Okay, I thought there might be some sort of underwater section there, but evidently not. This, on the other hand, is about as blatant a prompt as you can get. Okay, that's just a fucking angel from Evangelion. Ah, my word. There's a lot to try and take in from this fucking section already. Now, for anyone new here, you have to understand a good chunk of my early YouTube, well, I hesitate to say YouTube career, but like my early history making content on the internet had me reviewing and breaking down movies. One of the most infamous entries thereof being my review of Alejandro Jodorowsky's The Holy Mountain, which is pretty much the definition of art house movies. So I'm feeling very much in my element right now, and you will probably see very little of me just going, what the fuck, this is so weird, and more just me going, huh, let's try and break down each and every element of the aesthetics and themes at play with this particular character or piece of scenery being presented. You know, it is also funny, just going off another brief side tangent here. Even the symbolism. I hate the moment I said that word, film brain immediately came to mind. So thank you for... Thank you / no thank you for sending me that far back in time, Zach. You know? Mikey was never the same after the other turtles left. He was hit the hardest, honestly. You know? Already I am just staring at this and wondering what the specific invocation of a hippo and cobra are implying with this figure here. Ah, my word, I'm going to get so fucking lost in my own thoughts so fucking fast. What was it? Ah, yes, I was about to comment. So, I stopped to look at this figure and other figures like it that we've seen thus far because literally the first time I ever saw an artist's model like this was in those CGI VHS tapes I mentioned earlier, where it's just a series of short, experimental, computer-animated shorts. It would be at least a decade or so later that I would see an actual wooden artist's model in person for the first time. So I suppose it is fitting that these are just sticking out to me as much as they are. Alright, so I'm also noticing... Okay, so yeah, it's... The seal is just sticking their face out specifically there. And here, I mean, I could be very much off, but this feels like a near blatant invocation of Adam/Lilith from Evangelion. I imagine there's going to be a lot of instances of me referencing Evangelion throughout this playthrough. Huh. Interesting. I just got an achievement that says blink and you'll miss it. Interesting. Okay. So clearly it was just sort of blindly struggling before until I got close enough. And the question is this liquid or is this just an endless void? Well, one way to find out. Yep, now there we go. Thanks, friend. Appreciate your time. But yeah, no, there's like... I mean, there could obviously be just an endless slew of Evangelion jokes made about this design in particular. But I am even just trying to figure out the potential influencing factors of the snake and hippo specifically. I mean, both are things that can absolutely kill you in an instant. One with brute force and the other with the excruciating pain of the venom. Well, you know, I suppose if ever there were a place to get started, this would be it. Return the slab, or suffer my curse. You know?
Greetings. I shall be happy to explain everything to you. One person can be in two places at once. Although, the magician does not have to be in two places at once. He can be in one place at one time. Because he would be lost in the other person's mind. I'm glad we understand each other, Anna. You are here because you want to be. I can see it in your eyes.
Such as they are.
I'm here for pending business with your...
Stupid boss! Firstly, I need to get more info on this pointless cheat!
Huh.
Ah, the bathroom. But of course, you are looking for it. That old witch is looking for it. Everyone these days is in search of the bathroom. Now, you didn't hear it from me, but the way to the entrance is... The way to enter the bathroom is through that giant orb you see in the sky past the bridge. But in order to reach it, we must create life itself.
I was going to say, it was looking very woomy.
And get life. That shall be your quest today.
Okay, so many things. So many fucking things right out the gate.
And get back to you.
Like, first and foremost, Your Majesty, Ganon and his minions, and so on and so forth. Getting that obvious reference out of the way, first and foremost. Secondly, yeah, no, I couldn't help but notice as soon as I got a good view of the landscape here, this was very much looking like a stained glass uterus over here. Which has unfortunate implications for our search for a bathroom. Seeing some recurring characters here. Funny story. I just saw an old woman fall victim to the deceit of that unstable old man at Seal House. X's, am I right?
Don't change anyone.
I'm sick of that sham man in Seal House.
Move. Don't change.
Please have mercy and say nothing to him. I have already heard enough gibberish. I don't know why this is just turning more and more into Lumpy Space Princess the more I speak to this character. I'm a glad guys.
That's inaccurate.
気にしないことですな。認識もしなくてよろしい。伏せるべし。
Could you tell me everything you know about this, G?
そんなヨタ話に興じてる暇はないのです。バカタレがドアを開けっぱなしにしたせいで、ペットたちが消えてしまったのです。私のベイビーちゃん。
Babies or pets?
I mean, any pet owner will tell you they're the same
二つ
thing.
の存在、同じ人生。二つは魂の伴侶。それは4ついるのです。どうか見つけてくだされ。そうすればたんまり銭を使わしましょうぞ。目に銭。
Okay.
あの子たちは私の家のカーペットを血で汚すことが好きなのです。この情報を使ってあなたの好きなように動いてみなさ
I
い。
mean, we did see a blood stain next to the first one we found.
I'll be right with you.
So, one thing at a time. Ah, well, there's a blood stain. So I would imagine if we follow the trail, we will probably come across our next pet. Alright, you know? Apparently this pet was hungry. Well, case in point. Now shift, I believe, is the sprint. Okay. I mean, babies, pets, tonight's dinner. That is unfortunately the life of anyone who works in agriculture. Alright. Alright. Now then. I'm even just trying to see if there's anything else that can be gathered from, and I know this is going to sound stupid, all things considered, but even just the architecture at play here. Because, like, obviously we have generic post-apocalyptic warped buildings. The Carnival Magician's Tent. Well, Carnival / Ren Fair. Huh. We have yet another Japanese-inspired bridge here. Fun fact, a number of years ago, I want to say either 2012 or 2014, I had the privilege of visiting a number of European countries, one of them being France, and my sibling and I actually got to visit the home of French artist Monet. One of those artists who was very much known for their, sorry, somewhat distracted for obvious reasons, I'm sure. Known predominantly for their paintings of, you know, fields and gardens full of flowers. And their whole entire front yard was very much a gorgeous, gorgeous flower-filled garden with Japanese bridges running over the creeks therein. As it turns out, and this may be very little surprise to many of you who are familiar with the work of Monet, it turns out he was a huge fucking weeb. Everything from the Japanese bridge in the garden, the Japanese flowers therein, and in the home, There was, in fact, I believe, I could be mistaken, so I do apologize in advance if this is inaccurate, but I believe there was a portrait of Monet's wife wearing a kimono. Oh, well, you know what? I suppose this could be described as a blood stain, although it might not be the right shade of red. Does not seem to be. Alright, friend. What can you do for me?
I disagree.
Huh.
Guys, wait! I'm not doing what you say I'm doing! I'm not doing anything! I'm not doing anything at all!
Not for ENA, not for ENA. You know, absolute ovum. Yeah, no, I feel like that's a bit of a clue as to how we can go about getting the life we were prompted to earlier. Just 10 chocolates. Don't have enough money. Maybe another time then. Okay. Now, this was a character whose design, or at least their mere existence, was spoiled for me. I have no idea what this character's thing is, what they're about. All I know is that they exist, and apparently the internet is fond of them.
May I offer you a divestment opportunity?
Divestment? Are you making fun of my unemployment lives? I don't care! Don't care! Go away! What? You are ENA? You have a job?
It's more of a lifestyle. That's my destiny. What more could I do? God knows the rest.
Ew. I am nice to you, and this is the thanks I get?
Rude entities like you get punished for the sins of others.
Tell me! I'm joking! Fell for it, didn't you?
Miss, could you keep it down, please? The pizza guy's right here.
You know, I'm pretty good at organizing words. I should be the CEO of organizing events or something.
I hate that I've known people exactly like this. Well, both love and hate. Seems like a piece of coral from out of this world. But yeah, no, it seems to be somewhat of a, an unwillingly kindred spirit to, ENA herself. Still not sure how I feel about that pronunciation of the name, but it does in fact seem to be canon, so... Hey, what can you do? What the fuck am I talking about? I'm literally the person who got a whole bunch of Pokemon fans pissed off at him because I refused to pronounce Rayquaza. It's Rayquaza, and I don't care what the fuck anyone says. Alright. There you go. Hello? He doesn't grasp my goal. I mean, come the fuck on. Like, you know what I'm going to say. With this face specifically. Alright, so.
To toil beyond death itself. I don't understand. I need to get back to my duty. Can't stay here. I'll be back to work soon. I want to go back. I'm so tired.
Okay, and that's the loop. Okay, so. Let's see, is there fall damage in this game? Thankfully, no. Any sign of that pet around here? Does not appear to be. Once again, I hate that this is reminding me very much of someone I used to know. Like this specific art style. Like circa 2004. Ah, my word. You know, friend, this is just a suggestion, but maybe show on the Hawaiian Punch for another day or so.
Today a man has been forced to desist from his labors.
Oh no, what a barbarity. Who could dare?
You heard me, Jenna. I have seen the heads of this entity being kidnapped not microseconds ago. You must find and free his head from this criminal misdemeanor. He should be back at work.
Of course. Delighted to help a business fellow.
You know, I unfortunately cannot place the name of it, but this, I guess, construct you would call it, reminds me very much of an indie game, which I believe is still technically in development, where it's... The crux of it is you're living in a city and attempting to get away with committing crimes while a giant, like, 1,000-foot-tall security guard is keeping an eye out for your activities. Once again, I cannot place the name of it, unfortunately, but... Oh. Well. And suddenly, we're in Otome game territory with this music. No. Incorrect. Brought to you by the Doom Engine. Right, fine, yes, you don't have to get pissy about it. So I'm going to guess that this is supposed to be the horror aspect of this level. Sort of like Pac-Man.exe, as it were. Again, I will say, a big reason why I don't really play horror games, like especially for streams, is number one, horror games aren't usually my cup of tea, and number two, I just don't have the best, well, marketable reactions to them. I'm sure many people have gone through this segment and have been at their wits' end, as it were. Well, if Pokemon has taught me anything, it's search every trash can. This stroll is a waste of time. Stop this excursion and get back to work. You know, that sounds like quitters talk to me. Oh, well. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Might need a bit of bleaching. Just saying. Especially if it's going to be dating anytime soon. Well, you know, I'll keep going. Oh, okay. See? Now, maybe it already had done this, but the symbol has, in fact, changed. That much tells me that this is not, in fact, a waste of time. See, again, that opinion strikes me as that of the opinion of a pure pessimist. And while I cannot claim to be an optimist, I guess not pessimist so much as defeatist in this case. Alright, well, thank you for joining for as long as you did, Zach. Alright, so now we're back to the original symbol. At least as far as I can recall. Ah, my word. Okay, yeah, so another symbol. Maybe that was the second symbol, I just didn't really take note of it the first time. Okay, yeah, this was absolutely the second symbol. Alright, well, let me go ahead and leave the maze. You know? Alright. Was that glove always there? It's entirely possible, and I probably just didn't see it the first time due to my, I suppose, trauma-damaged attention span. Now, is there a way I can get into this building? Or is this not meant to be interacted with? Alright. Okay. I see, the McDonald's play place from hell. Okay, that's cute.
Oh no, non un altro. Guarda, mia signora, non passerai. Possiedo questo ponte. L'ho acquistato stamattina.
I'm the anthology anomaly! Step back, jackpot!
Ehi,
Talk to Radix that way.
Qui, cortigiana onesta. Ho appena vissuto il giorno peggiore della mia vita. Va bene? Ho combattuto 3 volte. No, 4. No, 5.
At least I'm pretty sure this is Portuguese being spoken.
La mia ragazza, ucciso mio fratello e ora... Mi scuso, mia signora. Le cose non sono state le stesse per me da quando quella strega urlante ha attraversato il mio ponte.
Okay, so the second invocation of the witch.
My sympathy is gonna cost you for every condolence.
Aspetta. Condoglianze? Mia signora pensa che mi piaccia tutto questo? Essere un accumulatore professionista non è uno scherzo. Hai qualche idea di quanto sia stressante questo lavoro? Ad esempio, hai mai fissato qualcosa così?
Well, now I feel stupid. Is this Portuguese or is this Italian?
Diventa il tuo regalo preferito.
Okay, well, yeah, it's Italian.
Mi è successo al dannato obitorio. Era così vergognoso. Ok, guarda. Vedi quell'edificio distrutto e vedi quel gentiluomo là dentro? Quel giovane ha tenuto d'occhio le mie proprietà per tutto il tempo. Vuole sicuramente rubare le mie proprietà. Ma non è questo il punto. Voglio che smetta di guardarmi. Se trovi un modo per coprirgli gli occhi o qualcosa del genere, io farò... No, potrei darti la mia gratitudine. Qualunque cosa, non lo so. Perfetto. Ora smetti di guardare le mie proprietà e vola via.
You know, I don't quite remember this character from Spy vs. Spy, but, you know, I'm all for moving the series forward. Alright. I love how the moment I think, wait, is that Italian rather than Portuguese? I look over to the chat like, this is Italian. Oh, well. Ah, damn it. Oh, control. Well. Oh, God. So, this is delving into a little bit of what I hate about playing with a mouse and keyboard, because, like, I have my middle finger with the... I have the WASD configuration with, like, my middle 3 fingers, as it were. And now having to, like, I hate reaching for additional buttons on the keyboard with, like, the pinky finger when it comes to, like, playing games, while also having to keep them on the main WASD. Like, already, like, my wrist is feeling very sore from playing this with mouse and keyboard. Yeah, no, that just feels gross. Alright, let's see here. Alright. Thank you, Gummy Bear Friend. Oh, actually. Oh. Guess he was pointing in this direction. Did this take me in a fucking loop? It may in fact have taken me in a fucking loop. Alright. Alright, so back this way. Alright. So, one more. Oh, wait. So I recognize these red and blue threads as belonging to those hippo snakes. And would you know it, we found the same culprit who managed to sneak away with that triple mask entity. Oh. This is way back out, so... I feel like there should be a way to reach that mask. Of course, maybe they're just teasing. No. I mean, once again, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Oh, well, shit. Alright. Oh, shit. Oh, you're very generous. Oh, really? Ah, fuck. Alright. Oh. And then... Okay. Okay, well, not so much, I suppose. Alright. Insightful color commentary, I know. I believe shift was the... Ah, damn it. Platforming is hell? Yeah, no, it definitely feels like it. Especially since I'm playing on mouse and keyboard. I'm sorry, no, I will not shut the fuck up about that. Anything with platforming in it should be relegated to a controller. I don't care who says what. Alright, yeah, no, I feel like there's definitely a method here. I unfortunately just am going to have to probably, as the children say, bum rush it. Oh, God damn it. See, again, I feel like it is possible, is the thing. Like, they're teasing, yes, obviously. But I feel like there is still something to it. Either that or the specific route is meant to be some sort of red herring. actually. Because I don't think... Yeah, no, there's no way in hell I can reach that. Oh. Yeah, no, that's not happening. There's absolutely something at play here. Do I just... No, it just goes back under there. Oh, well. Quicker route, I suppose. Alright. Now, the distance is the motherfucker here. Bitch. Yeah. No. No. I wonder... Oh, a little closer, maybe. Now we just... Okay, so you don't have to press down on the sprint. That was my mistake. So... So, now that I have at least a somewhat better understanding of the sprint mechanic, let me go over here. And then... bitch. This is probably going to be the next at least half hour of the stream, friends. I do apologize in advance. I am, in fact, that stubborn. I mean, it is also entirely possible that the secret to this is that it's meant to be intentionally unobtainable. Or maybe that's just, as the kids say, a skill issue on my part. Wait a fucking second. Does that mean anything? Need you to stop saying as the kids say. Listen. If nothing else, it is a desperate plea to whatever universe I've fucking landed in this time. That I can be somewhat relatable to the youths and teach them something of value. I'm not entirely certain if you can hear that, but that is in fact Lorelei, my roommate, giggling from the next room. Ah, my word. What a very unprofessional that you're a streamer to have, friends. I know, right? History's greatest monster. You know, there has got to be something. Yep. Well, that certainly wasn't it. Yeah, no, that distance... With that distance, it's just not happening. I do feel like it is feasible to one extent or another. It's also entirely possible that I am in fact missing something. No. From here, no way in hell. I don't think it's possible to get it from here either. Nope. Absolutely not. Well, I wonder. Wait a minute. I wonder if that's even partially the point. If that's the fucking secret to it, I'm gonna be pissed. Because directly above me is where I need to be. If I drop off here... No, it brings me back over there. I have to ask, Koshé, were you ever able to reach this secluded area in your own playthrough? Never found this set of rocks. That's entirely fair. Nope. No, actually. Oh, well. So I'm just trying to map out. So, make it over there. Brings me over there. So, I do believe it is, in fact, from these rocks over here. And then it would have to be up this way. I'm not seeing any other option for getting over there. Yeah, I was just... On the off chance there was some sort of hidden platform, which I doubt there will be. This section has at least come across as fairly straightforward. Butts and guts. And all that viscera. Sure, the thrilling content you all came for, folks. I do apologize. I'm just trying to map out exactly how to tackle this. I am not seeing many alternatives here. You know what? Fuck it. I'm sure this is one of those games that you have to really appreciate via multiple playthroughs. If I feel strongly inclined enough, I can always return to this. But yeah, no. I'm going to spare myself a bit of grief for now and simply move the fuck on. Will I get the perfect A rank ending? Probably not. But this is beyond what I am currently capable of doing. And I am fine with admitting that. I got what I originally came for, and I can take some solace in that. Because now, I need to find one more of those pets. Tree Trunk was never the same after the divorce. Alright. Is there something over here? Oh. You're new. This window is always calling us to witness the beauty of the greatest existential question. Does the bathroom really exist? You know, truer words have never been spoken, friend. Alright. Brother just blew my mind. You and me both, Koshe. Wait a second. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, you bitch. Come on. Fuck you. Okay. Alright, well. Time to cash in, I suppose. If nothing else, we have accomplished one of our accumulating tasks. Take better care of your shit.
なんと醜いサービスでしょう。来るのが早すぎる。おお、ありがたやありがたや。もう腹ペコなのです。これで食事にありつける。
Bless you for your business.
Okay. So we now have some of those chocolates. Something, something duality of man. Something to buy some mayo. Is there an easy Kewpie mayo joke in there? Abso-fucking-lutely. Will I make it? He bought mayonnaise.
With prices this low, you can't afford a lifetime to wait.
You found yourself a bug.
Ovum for the eyes. Yeah, no, that is absolutely going to come into play at some point. I'm not the biggest fan either, Crochet, but on the other hand, the invocation of an ovum does make me think it's going to be important for the aforementioned stained glass uterus. Wait a fucking sec. Oh, for... Hold on. If this solution is what I think it is... Probably not, but... Toby on death itself. Fucking goddammit. You know, I was hoping it would be more relevant towards the overarching goal. But fuck it. Let's blind Lilith with mayonnaise. That is something I said that is going to be on the internet forever. I hate. I'm so fucked up. Alright, Calamari Games, tell me what to do now.
Oh, l'hai fatto davvero? Va bene, Rad. Cosa vuoi adesso? Pensavi davvero che ti avrei lasciato passare perché hai fatto una cattivazione? Ma non essere un idiota!
We will miss you, Italian Spamton. A rare device that contains the absolute knowledge of spatial positions. Used to safely navigate great distances. Probably taken from a highly advanced vehicle. Huh. Just wondering if there's anything I can take here. Oh. Use this device? Fuck it! Thank you for purchasing WinRAR. Yeah, let's press our luck, shall we? You know? Oh. Was this model always here? Because I have the distinct impression there might be something more to those models than I initially suspected. I mean, there's an easy something. These are all old ENA theory to be crafted here, I suppose, but... This bus doesn't seem to exist. It's gone. Okay. Okay. You know? A crane, used for moving large objects when needed. I'm sure that's not going to be relevant at any point in the foreseeable future. You know, it's times like these when I actually stop and consider maybe I should reevaluate the Holy Mountain. Because I did review it from a purely literal perspective. And while there is a part of me that still feels justified in that, I think back to my initial viewing of Revolutionary Girl, Utna, for example. And then realizing, interpreting everything from a purely literal standpoint was a bit of a fucking mistake.
Oh, you aren't who I was expecting to see here. Did that kind young man from the bridge let you in too? What a gentleman. I hope he's having a good day.
Not as good as can be expected.
Anywho, I came here in search of the bathroom. I hope to clear my sins and have the truth revealed to me. But I couldn't reach it, and now, frankly, I'm stuck here. Could you find a way to send my corpse over to my relatives? They must be waiting for me at the square near Seal House. And be quick, I'll surely be dead before the day is over.
My condolences.
Sweetie, I think I need to go to the powder room.
One of life's great mysteries, so I hear. Okay. Any particular... No. Well. Oh, well. Well, I do have the sprint. no. Unfortunately. Used to. Oh, well. That will, in fact, do it. Oh, okay. Interesting. There we go. Alright. I guess now the question remains, now that that is taken care of. What can I do? Oh. You know? I should have figured. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I had a feeling there was a way to access this section up here. Sure. Alright, so yet another square section here. This does feel like it's going to be important later. Alright, so let's see what the witches are up to. I'm guessing now there's going to be dialogue I will no longer have access to, having reassembled the Witch League quadruple here. Or quadruple? Either way.
There you ladies are. Meet my new travel companion.
Oh, that explains how you made it back in one big, fat piece.
Would you all be kind enough to spare some coins for Miss ENA? I think I misplaced my wallet somewhere along our adventure.
Ah, speak of the devil. Perhaps this thingamajig I found could be of value to Miss ENA, was it?
Delightful. Off we go then. Don't spend it all in one place.
Take care, dearie.
I mean, as they say, you cannot in fact take it with you. So a shaman can make good use of it. And wouldn't you know it, the shaman receives the motherboard.
May the gods forgive me for what I'm about to do.
You and me both.
Step back!
I mean, do it enough times, you might find a way to no-clip. Seizure warning, I suppose. Fucking bones.
What had to be done was done, but what hadn't been done was done too. And now that it is done, it may be done again. Done, done, done.
Damn it!
Okay.
Shut up! You know, I don't even believe anything, but you're bleeding out some real bullshit here! You're a fluke!
Worry not. Trust me when I say sacrifices were made. Here's your reward, ENA. You birthed it. Unfortunately, it is not fully grown yet. I'm afraid you may need to gather the rest of the body by sewing this head. But those holes shouldn't be a problem for you to find around here.
Okay.
Now go, ENA! Reach that giant orb in the sky and be one with it! Now, it's your turn to go to the bathroom. Now, it's your turn to begin life anew! Possibly.
Bless you for your business.
Okay. Well, that answers my question about these square holes in the ground. Now, the trick is, where all do I recall seeing them? There was one absolutely by the witch. I'm relatively certain there was one around here as well. Yes, yes, we've all heard it before. Swap tools. What was your deal again?
Tell this place to drink Armenian. I hate bathrooms.
One of our greatest thinkers. Alright, so nothing to do there for the moment. Ah, here we are. Now, wondering, you know it. Well. You're late.
I'm the buzz!
Is that fucking Senor Pello?
I'm the buzz!
Yeah, the more I listen, the more I'm at least 75% certain that is fucking Senor Pello. Heard Pello was in this game? Yeah, that fucking tracks. Alright. Dracula is played by the, that Vine Sauce guy? Which Vine Sauce guy? Like, there's at least 2 or 3 Vine Sauce guys. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say Vinny, but I could see Joel also getting into some shenanigans to that effect as well. Alright, that's fertile soil.
Made the house, Jane, or move. Anyone?
I can sense the overflowing tears and sins coming from the bathroom up there, I swear.
May the doors guide my epic moves. Alright. Alright, immediate change in the music. You know.
That shaman was right this whole time, and we called him crazy. Or maybe we're the crazy ones for believing him now.
Okay. Huh. I'm wondering. Now, this could be me reaching, no pun intended, but I can't help but wonder if this mechanic is some kind of play on the arm, or the evolution of the arm from Twin Peaks. For anyone unfamiliar with Twin Peaks, well, I suppose mild spoiler for a series that is, I suppose, have to be around 40 or so years old now. It delves into some fairly paranormal territory the longer on it goes. And there are a series of characters who show up in a location known as the Black Lodge. One of them is the Arm, a character who is dressed in an all-red suit. And then there is a much taller individual known as the Giant. Though I think he may have been renamed earlier, or later on rather, as the Fireman. I am wondering if the pure red suited individual I'm growing from these segments has any sort of inspiration in the Arm, the Giant, or the evolution of the Arm.
Interesting.
It's insane. Okay. Yeah, my thoughts exactly, Lorelei. Okay. So, definitely getting blown around a bit by the high altitude winds here. Interesting. Any squares? Squares and squares. Not that I can immediately find. Don't think it's getting closer. Huh. And I'm no longer seeing any square panels here. Maybe I need to try and platform up here? Oh, no. I feel like I absolutely run the risk of losing all of my progress if I fuck this up sufficiently. You know what? Fuck it, we ball. Oh. Well, that just brought me back here. Okay. Oh, damn it. Alright, so it's just a matter of finding the correct location. So probably not this one then. Did my dumbass just go back to the immediate same place? Yes, it did. Alright. Wait, are these all the same? Oh, this one looks different. For fuck's sake. Oh. Yeah, no, this absolutely feels a bit different. Ah, for fuck's sake. Alright. A little less sloppy, Logician. All right. It's now here. Need to be careful about how fast I go, because I'm both fighting and leaning into the breeze here. Yep, yeah, the breeze is getting stronger. To blow me the fuck away if I am not careful. Okay. 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 There we are. Okay. Now we are definitely diving into, or rather, delving into very Deltarune-esque music. Alright. Where's the shift on this? Oh, my fucking word. Okay. well. Fuck. Alright. Yeah, I know this is probably gonna take a... Shit. Oh, alright. What? Why? My fucking... It's a pain. I am getting that distinct impression, Koshé, yes. I'm jumping way too fucking soon. God, there, I didn't fucking jump soon enough. Jesus fuck. Again, this is why I fucking despise playing games on mouse and keyboard. Yeah, you have to fucking micromanage each and every one of your fingers. Fucking very hyper-specific tasks like this. Just give me a fucking controller setup. Oh, Jesus fuck. Yeah, now there it goes. If I do another stream of this, and chances are I will probably have to do another stream of this, because I don't think I am completing everything in this game within one stream. Probably have to find some sort of controller setup, because I refuse to play additional streams with this fucking controller scheme. Or this lack of a controller scheme, I suppose. Alright. Okay. Yeah, fuck that noise. Well, that was unnecessarily annoying. And I'm sure there will be people in the comments complaining about me and my lack of aptitude for playing on a mouse and keyboard. But it's just not what I am used to. It is not what I prefer. If you genuinely have a problem with that, I think that says more about you than it does me. Anyway. Let's have a chat with the 15th angel over here. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think I am the genie.
ことぐらい予測しとくべきだった。
As you do. The genie, I would presume. Oh, interesting.
Pardon me. My head hurts so much. Do you have any coffee? Any milk? Any bathroom?
Huh.
A giant bathroom. Ugh. It's not enough for this many bodies. I hate myself.
There's a lot to fucking dissect here. There's absolutely a lot. Like, I mean, obviously I've been mentioning at several points throughout this playthrough that there seems to be very specifically a large emphasis on post-war Japanese propaganda. And this iteration of ENA we have just seen very, very much resembles a young woman who has been mortally wounded and given the curvature of the hole through her stomach. I don't think it's too much of a stretch to presume that it was from some kind of shell. Like, maybe not necessarily a tank shell, but something large. Oh, okay. Hot shit, 2D animation time. And those gummy bears from earlier. Okay. Well. Interesting. Now, I am trying to see if there is any sort of link between these images here and what I was seeing in that labyrinth earlier. Hello, Burger King. You know, this far in the game, I probably should have expected the spawn of Super Mecha Death Christ.
Hast thou seen that? Entities fighting each other for thy attention, creating a path to the correct hut for the sinful souls whom arrive to this unfortunate place. I know not which one to trust, which tells the truth. So tired I am of lies.
You know, this does lean into something I recognized earlier on in that cave system. We saw a few of these little fuckers in there. They seem to be pointing us in very specific directions. And I don't think all of them were completely truthful. Yeah, no, there are the arrows. I have the distinct impression that this animation with the green guy pushing the other one over was meant to imply that we're probably better off trusting these guys? I could be mistaken. But based on what information I've been able to gather, it would appear as though our silhouetted friends in brown are more than likely leading us on the correct path. Ah, well. You interacted with every single house? Interesting. I mean, that's just it. That this does strike me as the type of game that you should play at your own pace. And I suppose in a manner that suits your playstyle best. Oh, so this is the correct one. Okay, that is good to know. Light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, a lot of the houses have unique animations where they disappear, so I wanted to see them all. That is also entirely fair. Very interesting. Now, this could be another stretch on my part. I am wondering if these creatures here have anything to do with that one fertility god whose name I can never fucking remember. The one that's largely depicted as a stick figure-like silhouette with 3 strands of hair and playing a flute of some kind. Now, we found a lot of these in the very first level of the game. These are the former genie of these lands. Forgiveness is only a gift you can never have.
Dear Genie, or to whoever it may concern, my job is to do everything possible to find the boss, for he is our target today. The smoke is in the way of our business and must be eradicated at once.
The boss you are looking for. Are you familiar with his background? His family? His face? Even if you can't answer these questions, you seem to recognize very well who this entity is. Despite this confidence, you and me holding a conversation in this place says a lot about your inability to complete such a task. Could there have been hesitation in your actions? So I'm going to hazard a guess that this might mean that... Coco Pelli, thank you so much. I can never remember that name. I think this is Portuguese. Okay, so this is Portuguese. Yeah, this does ring somewhat of a bell. I am guessing this might be somewhat due to the fact... I mean, there could be multiple endings with this game. Again, know next to nothing about all the variations that can come about from a single playthrough of this game. But if I had to hazard a guess, that is one of the most interesting ways I have heard Portuguese described, Koche. Like French and Spanish kissing. I will have to remember that the next time I am speaking to Comidrian. But I am guessing it's entirely possible the reason I got this outcome is because I failed to save that one 3-masked entity. But it is what it is, and this is the result of my own playthrough, going in blind. Unfortunately, there's not much else I can do for you right now. I choose to remind you that this place we are in is too far away from your real, physical form. I can only keep you from returning to it. However, I may make an exception for today. Touch my memories. Let me show you a reality, one where you achieved your deepest desires. Remember, ENA, all it takes is a place and the right food. Interesting. I wonder. Oh, okay. Now this is a very interesting interpretation of a genie. Like there is a lot. Looks like she's pretty rare. No, yeah, that's even what I was about to delve into, Koche, because obviously you have the motif of the genie in the lamp. You know, rubbing the lamp to coax out the genie. The invocation of, well, multiple things here. Of all you need is a place and something to eat. This does look like someone who is potentially in a state of hunger, rubbing their stomach. And with this fucking hourglass shape, I'm unfortunately not sure how else to say it, this is someone who is very much in need of sustenance. This is also possibly indicative of... Well, I mean, I hate to dip into the munchies joke, but someone who might be lost in some sort of blissful state, hence the smoke coming out of the lamp. Sort of stuck in place because of that state. I mean, hence the metallic legs here, which can't really move. Like, the mechanical hand, which very much can accomplish things in the moment, but supposedly is relegated to doing the bare minimum to try and satiate certain sensations. I'm even just looking at the head here specifically. Because initially I thought this might be a fez on top, with a shawl sort of meant to represent hair. But the hat is definitely not a fez. In fact, I would go so far as to say it looks more like the working hat that ENA is wearing. Potentially tying back into the theme of labor, and one of the aspects of labor, which is to, I suppose, relieve hunger. And I suppose the ongoing theme of trying to find a bathroom. I don't know, like, I feel like that could be some sort of allegory for trying to find relief from an ongoing strain of something being pent up and not, I suppose, healthily released. I mean, obvious joke being like, you know, bathroom breaks while you're working, but also just a lot of pent-up toxicity. A lot of waste, something that needs to be let out as a healthy function of just homeostasis, but not being given that opportunity due to a bunch of external stressors. I fully understand that I am just delaying what is most likely just the end of this segment of the game. But my fucking word, there is a lot to take away from this. Because I can't imagine this is the end of the game entirely, because it did seem as though there were multiple doors and multiple genies to sort through. Anyway, these are all just my cursory guesses based on just what information I have been presented with. I think it is, in fact, about time to move on. Can the business bear the liability of obliterating the smoke machine? Oh. Oh, this is very interesting. Okay. Yeah, no, this is absolutely delving more and fucking more into fucking toxic labor mindsets with that fan. And that is absolutely the fucking gambate fan that you see associated with a lot of, like, encouragement or even just punishment in a lot of social settings in Japan. Very much like the stop being lazy and loafing around and get your ass back to work. It no longer moves. God, this is very interesting. I'm even wondering, looking at this further, and obviously I know I am spending a lot of time analyzing this, looking at this crest on the head of the genie. This is the worst McDonald's I've ever been in. I can guarantee you I have been in worse. This crest here on top of the head of the genie seems very much inspired by Roman helmets. And maybe this is simply because I have just recently watched Epic the Musical, but for me this invokes Athena? I could be way the fuck off base here. In that assumption. But this, even now I'm wondering, with all the emphasis on, like, hyper-Japanese post-war culture, if this is supposed to be some sort of indication of how anti-European influence post-war Japan was, or not even post-war Japan, but, like, wartime Japan, and how a lot of that toxicity sort of led into the work ethic and governmental treatment of Japanese citizens immediately following the war. I feel like there is a lot to be dissected here. But yet again, I am very much taking a lot of time to discuss what might not necessarily need discussing. Now we have a locker room. I feel like this is not the only time we are going to be seeing this locker room. Okay. Huh. Well? Call it a hunch. But I feel as though a lot of my progression in this game has been somewhat reliant on following clues given to me. Oh boy.
なあ、頼むよ。もうバスルームのたわごとはたくさんだ。
The issue with the bathroom has been resolved. Our business with the boss is our next priority. He will be down the drain in no time.
何に降りるって？笑えないぞ。適当なこと言ってごまかそうたってそうはいかないからな。あんたの仕事は何だっけ？いい加減に一気に仕事を片付けるのに集中するぞ。はあ、もう二度とバスルームの話をするなよ。
Agreed. Toilets are death traps.
ああ、そうだ、言い忘れてた。あんたらが何をしたのか知らんが、その効果は確かに現れてるよ。あの嫌なスモークがだいぶ消えたんだ。お苦労さんだったな、エナ。おかげで随分仕事が楽になったよ。だがひょっとするとまた別の窮地に立たされてるかもしれないぞ、エナ。ああ、まずい。こいつはピンチが繰り返されるぞ。
Ah, predicaments, huh? I'm good at those.
いいか、今あんたがいるところのドアが閉まろうとしてるらしい。
はあ。
そこに閉じ込められるかもしれないってことがわからないか。
Well, it's time to be that one drop inside that ocean full of opportunities. Am I right?
あ、そうかそうか。あんたにはセールスの技とやらがあるんだったな。じゃああんた本当にやれるんだな。だが行ってきなさい。やれることは何でもやって戻ってくるんだ。
Okay. Well. Huh. It's interesting. It seems that ENA's goal is to fucking murder the boss. It has been fairly... There's been a fair bit of implication pointing towards doing away with the boss. Which makes me wonder how much of this has to do with... Well... If we're going with themes of post-war Japan and the work ethic thereof, out with the old and with the new, a general distrust of the Japanese government for how it treated its citizenry during the war, and a desire to do away with the current, I suppose, administration.
is indeed one movie.
Just arrived for the premiere. Very informative.
I don't like the cast. I prefer cash. I came here to buy some vacations.
Huh.
What are you looking at? Do I owe you something? The second act feels too obvious.
So, as a fucking Godzilla fan, I'm already forming theories.
Not now, thanks.
Which I know sounds completely random in and of itself.
Sorry, I do not give change. This looks controversial.
But hear me out. In post-war Japan, the war ended in 1945. In 1954, nine years following the end of World War II, Ishiro Honda released the original Gojira film, which, functionally speaking, was sort of a souped-up Michael Moore film. Not only pointing out the potential, well, obviously exaggerated potential ramifications of ongoing nuclear testing, but it was also sort of an accusatory finger at the Japanese people themselves for being so compliant with a lot of the philosophies and policies being put into place regarding nuclear testing after the war, and a lot of the changes that were happening around them that they were just sort of complacent in.
Is that hat up for auction? Maybe next season?
So this whole issue, hello, giant polygonal face. This feels to me like it's trying to symbolize I don't know. A transition from explicit propaganda to escapist media following the war? Because we have all these monstrous TVs walking around.
Not enough chocolates to buy this.
And a gradual progression towards, I don't know, what looks to be like a nuclear family setup, or at least suburbia. A greater emphasis towards capitalism. A dealer in real estate. A speculator in the real estate market. This feels like there is some sort of like philosophical transition happening between a lot of the work ethic of that era in Japanese culture and a far more westernized, I suppose, approach to escapism with more of a growing emphasis on capitalistic methods. I know, again, I could be grasping at fucking straws here. Very much could be, I don't know, going nowhere with this. Oh, there's this fucker again. Was I meant to take this ride instead? People being pieced together in fragmented pieces. Speculative investor in real estate. Oh. Oh.
This new island looked fancier in the catalog. Not impressed.
So increasingly jaded, and I suppose spiritually dead population.
Congratulations.
Am I having a stroke? What is this? Hello, Fee! Thank you for joining us. This is ENA Dream Barbecue, or rather, ENA Dream Barbecue. A very...
Good job, Ina.
Okay, so there they pronounce it ENA. But no, this is...
Things are smelling much more valuable now.
I guess what can only be described as a sort of first-person point-and-click adventure game that is based off of an ongoing series of YouTube videos by a creator known as Joel G, starring the titular character ENA/Ina, depending on how you want to pronounce it, because apparently a lot of different pronunciations are all considered valid.
Why are those things around you?
Interesting. A prospective buyer and seller in real estate properties. Oh, there's a Super Mecha Death Prince over here.
A nice surprise. Two travelers meet again. Although mayhap in happier circumstance. I can no longer sense the stench of any lie. Vain pretense has met his match, and noble truth holds sway.
Came, I saw, I ran away screaming. Sorry, Logician, maybe another stream. You are completely valid, Fee. I can very much understand this being a bit overwhelming for someone who may not, like, have as much experience with, I suppose... I hate to keep using the term art house, but it's sort of the first term that comes to mind whenever I see any sort of narrative media like this.
I was born with a purpose from the bells of creation. My soul was poured into the river of time, and my flesh under the pressure of life. A disturbing relief is what is in front of me.
Ah, boy. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Yeah, you have yourself a good night, Fee. Thank you for dropping by for as long as you did. Ah. Now, is it at all possible to reach that area over there? Does not appear to be. Well, I wonder. Probably not. And even the detail of this bridge being, like, half broken. Okay. Some more effigies of the genie. Yeah, no, this is very, very reminiscent of pretty much the earliest part of this level with these effigies of the genie. With everything being black and white. I could be grasping at straws yet again, but I'm wondering if there's some sort of, like, analog about nuclear winter at play here. Everything freezing over, getting icier. Maybe more jaded. Well, at the very least, we are back to where we started. Yeah. The door is now closed. Did that change anything? Oh, God. Yes, it certainly did. Yeah, no, I absolutely had a feeling that those dummies were some sort of analog for previous iterations of ENA. Or at least people like ENA. Members of a disposable workforce. Interesting. Okay, so that was the end of Chapter 1. Huh. Fascinating. Salesperson versus meanie hangover. I mean, that's just it. When you're part of a very toxic workforce, you will have your customer service side and your side who is very much trying to deal with, I suppose, existential grief by indulging and lashing out. I will absolutely have to look into whether or not there are multiple endings to this chapter. And because I know for a fact that I must have missed a number of things. I am immediately intrigued. Yeah, even just listening to this music here. Again, very strong Japanese influence as far as I can tell. Maybe maybe this is a bit of a stretch, but it almost sounds like in some elements of the instrumentation, well, quote-unquote instrumentation, there might be something akin to Jingle Bells? Which I suppose would delve into the whole nuclear winter aspect, but again, wild speculation, at best. I will absolutely have to play this again and see all of what I missed. Huh.
みんな誤解するぞ。
Press any key to continue. Okay. Well, it has been nearly 3 hours. And if this isn't a good stopping point, then fuck me running. I don't know what is. Well, that absolutely just happened. Griffin, that has much. Shut the fuck up, Koche. But I digress. Yeah, that was absolutely okay. That was, in fact, very, very intriguing. I am absolutely going to have to discuss this at length with a number of people, chief among them being my friend Nezmi VA, who did initially recommend this game to me. This has not shaken me from my initial theory that a lot of this does have to do with, I suppose, the ripple effects of sensationalism? And again, I feel like as opposed to the sensationalist depictions in the mainline YouTube videos of ENA that have to do with, I suppose, explicit capitalism and just salesmanship, this one delves a bit more into, I suppose, post-war propaganda, well, propaganda in general, having to do with contributing to a larger cause, potentially. Again, it is still kind of too early on to form a fully solid theory. But nevertheless, I am intrigued, and will probably be... Yeah, no, I'm absolutely going to be playing more of this, if not next week, depending on what all is still in here, then in my own free time. But nevertheless, I want to thank all of you for joining me for tonight's stream for as long as you did, despite this being somewhat unconventional as far as what I usually stream. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you in the coming days as I continue on with a number of interesting series between Halo and Spore and God, whatever else fucking may or may not pop up along the way. But in the interim, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and always remember to fucking think.